Hey guys. Alright, so back to the series. Now, I'm sorry about the long break. I was busy with work and I took some time to go home. I went back home to Denmark and now I'm back here, and so I've got a little bit of time before during the weekend, and I thought I'd focus on the bottom bracket. You know, there's very limited information on Phil Wood, so I thought I'd make this video specifically on the Phil Wood bottom bracket. This one is French threaded. I got 115 millimeter axle, so we're gonna give it a go, and I'll explain the parts and tools that I got, what I think is necessary, and based on my research, what I think you should do to install it properly. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the parts that I have, the tools, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright guys, so this is what we have. We've got the Phil Wood bottom bracket, 115 millimeter axle, spindle, sorry, French threaded cups that go at the ends, two Phil Wood tools, and a mud guard for each side. Now, this is the part that's debatable. Whether you need two Phil Wood tools or not is entirely up to you. I strongly believe, and I strongly recommend, if you have a French threaded bicycle where you want to put a Phil Wood bottom bracket, you should invest in two tools, simply because as you're threading one end in and you have it adjusted, it'll start to unthread, or at least it's happened to me on the other side. Okay, so that's something to consider. Other tools that you'll need are a 22 millimeter or 7/8 inch will work too, and a torque wrench. Phil Wood specifies 40 Newton meters of torque, which I believe is 20 pound-feet. I'll double check and I'll let you know once I've got it in. So we're gonna go ahead and put this into the bicycle. I've already dry fitted. That's without the Loctite. The cup rings on the end, they come with a Loctite, blue Loctite. I haven't applied it yet, I will. So as you can see on this one, through my dry fit, one of the cups has already gone on to the bottom bracket. Now I'll explain what you should do before doing that. You don't want to just go ahead and put the ring on top of the bottom bracket. I would recommend putting a bit of grease over the bottom bracket to make sure that they go in nice and smoothly. So the instructions Phil Wood provides say to have the word Phil readable to the cyclist. That means having the eye on the drive side. So as you go ahead and put it in, through the dry fit, you can measure out the chain line. I've already gone ahead and done that. And the good thing about Phil Wood is that you can adjust the cups on each side to get the chain line as close as to the correct measurement that you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, put some Loctite on here. Well, actually, now I'm gonna clean it up once more. My hands have been all over it. Then I'll put some Loctite, get it in properly on one side, and then we'll do the other side, and we'll go with the torque specifications. I've looked them up properly this time, and they're 25 foot-pounds of torque. So we are going to go with 15 to start with, and then jump up to 20, and then to 25. Okay, so we'll do the smaller increments just to avoid over torquing it, and yeah, we'll see how it fits. So got the Loctite right here, blue Loctite. Now, aside from the fact that Phil Wood is slightly on the pricier end, I do think it's definitely worth it. And you know, the attention to detail that they give to the packaging. This was the package simply just for the Phil Wood tool for the bottom bracket, which you know, the attention to detail is on point. Definitely something to appreciate. So not only are you getting a quality product, but you're getting a good amount of attention to detail to what you're ordering. So definitely worth it. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put the Loctite onto the rings right here. Only needs 2 drops, one on each side. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this side in. No need to put grease on the threads before, because you've got the Loctite, so you don't want to put any grease on there, right? So I've already gone ahead and cleaned this. I've cleaned the inside of the bottom bracket once more, and now I'm going to go ahead and put the Loctite, put it in finger tight to where I need it on the drive side, and then we'll do the non-drive side. All right. Alright, so we're just gonna get this finger tight. Loctite's already on there. Gonna go in. Once you see that you can't really get it with your hand, just go ahead and grab the key. Goes in place, and that should be, you know, a lot easier. And really just get it to where you had it measured. I took a photo of it beforehand and counted the threads. I believe that's where it was. Okay, so that's how it's done. Essentially, that's it. Okay, now it's not in all the way. I need to torque it properly, and through the torque, it should go in where it needs to be. So first, we're gonna go ahead and put the other side though. Okay. Okay, guys. So I got the other side in with the Loctite. Before I go ahead and put Loctite on this side, I want to go ahead and put some grease right here on the inside, and then I'll put the Loctite on the outside, and then we'll go ahead and put it in and set it to the correct torque settings. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put grease here on the on this seat, then Loctite on the outside, and then we're gonna put it in. Okay. All right. So I got the key on this side. Okay. Look at the other side. We've got the key on there too. We already got the ring in. Now this is what I'm talking about. If you tighten this side as you're tightening this side, because it's a French thread, it'll come undone on this side. Now you essentially need two tools to hold this cup in place as you're tightening this one. So I'll get a 22mm, hold this one, torque this one up to specification, make sure the chain line is where I want it to be. Remember, we're only starting with 15, and then we'll swap to this side, do this one to 15, swap to this side, do 20, 20, until it's completely in place. Okay. All right, guys. So I got my 22mm. It's just a regular hex wrench. I'm gonna put this one in place right here to hold it steady. Torque wrench set to 15. And yeah. So let's see what happens. Now it will be tight because it's going onto the rings. There, I reached my torque. Okay. Now I want to do the same to the opposite side. Okay. Remember, only to 15 to start. We don't want to over torque it. Got my hex. It's only holding it in place. And now we do the same on the other side. So that says it's already reached the torque. All right. So we've reached torque there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and reset this one to 20. Okay, so I've got my torque set. Now I can see that the cup on this side, the mounting ring, has completely reached over. We're just gonna hold this one with a 22 hex and torque the other side up. So we reach the torque. Now we go back to this side. So we want to, you know, do increments. We don't want to go straight to a 25 because we don't want to over torque it by mistake. So I reach my torque there. Alright, so nothing wrong with doing little steps like that. The last one, it says to 25. So I'm going to stop just before the 25. We'll set it at 23. We'll go from there. I think 23 is okay. This is really just ensuring that it's all in place. So we'll hold this one again at 22. So we reached that one already at the torque that we need. So that's why we don't want to go straight to 25, because we want to avoid over torquing it, and sometimes it just needs a little pushes as it fits. So that's there. And now we'll do one more at the 24, and I think we'll call that good just to be on the safer end. We'll hold this one in place again. So that's already in place. And one last time on this side. There we go. Alright, so this is why I definitely would recommend getting the two filled wood tools. It really makes it easier to hold one of the mounting rings in while you're adjusting the other one, and you don't have to worry about it sliding from side to side. Now I can finally see that the bearings are in place on this side, and on this side that they're also in place here. So now the next thing is to put in the mud guards. put the crank arms and make sure the chain line is correct, and if not, we can just push them out, undo one end, readjust it, and re-put it in. But ideally it should be in place. So yeah, let's put the mudguards in and see how it looks. Alright, so here we go. This is with the mudguard in on one side now. As you can see, my paint is already chipped on the side. Spray.bike. Not sure why it's chipping. No, maybe it's too cold. I followed the instructions and did it with the correct temperature, but that's okay. Crank arm's gonna go here anyway, so no one's really gonna see that. But yeah, all in place, all good. Take a look at the other side. Okay, so we got the drive side on this side. Here we go. Now, there are a few more threads visible here. I think about 2 or 3. That's because of the adjustment for the chain line. So it's not symmetrically in the center, okay? That's fine. I've got the cup on this side too, right here. Cup on this side here. So we're gonna put the crank arms and we'll see what the chain line looks like. Alright, so here we go. We got the chain on. Got the crank arms on. I got the Campagnolo Veloce 10 speed. Yeah, and we're gonna make it work. I think so. The chain line, to be honest, it's looking good. From the small chain ring through to the center of the back rear cog, I think it's pretty straight, pretty in line. It looks just about there. So now the next thing to do is to go ahead and readjust the rear mech again, and then we'll go ahead and look at the front derailleur, sorry, which from what I've been told, this is a little bit too big for this bike, so we might have to make a shim out of some cans and some electrical tape, but we'll try this out first, this setup, and see if it works. If it works, no need for shim, then you know we're good to go. Alright, so we're gonna set this up, then we're gonna try setting this up, and then we will see how it goes. But I hope this helps, guys. If you're ever installing a fill wood bottom bracket, remember, French threaded I think is the only one that really needs 2 tools. If you have an English threaded, maybe Italian threaded, you don't need the second tool because the threads aren't opposite from each other. But if you have a French threaded, I do recommend getting at least 2 of the portable tools. You don't have to get the Pro tool. I didn't. I had 2 of the portable tools, and it worked out fine. It worked out good. The chain line's there, and now the next thing to do is to just see how it runs. So guys, remember to subscribe, like this video if it's helped you. If you have any feedback, you know, feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And if you enjoyed this video, just leave a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.